Hello, everybody. Super good morning. How's everyone doing? Kevin Chan here again, early in the morning, 7:30, bringing you live today. We're gonna talk about the 2025 10-day master worth turn for worth. All right. So is it too high? Is it no? It's just not just nice. Hello, Pekpo, how are you doing? Hello, Sabrina. Right, so no super good morning to everybody. Right, yeah, the year is quickly approaching the end of the year. So today is already the 26th of December. Right, so it's Boxing Day. Right, so now it's time for you to put all your decoration and also your Christmas tree back into the box and leave it into the attic and wait for another year. Really quick, right? 1 year has passed. It was like the blink of an eyes only, and the entire dragon year is coming to the end already, right? So 2024 is coming to an end, and another few more days is gonna be New Year celebration. So it's gonna be the day whereby everybody is looking forward for the firework. Right, so no, I don't know whether your country like doing firework or not. Now, our country recently, only this year, they just allowed the sales of firework. No, before that it was illegal. Illegal. No, it's control item lah. So right now it is openly able to sell. Right. So but anyway lah. Right. So it's another income source for some people. Who need some income source. Right. So come, let's go in and take a look at the Earth for today. Right. So let me just shrink myself down to the smaller version. Right. So this is the tiny version of me. Right. So come on. Let's take a look. Right. So this is the voting. So we will be using this particular vote to continue with it. So you can see that the GF, Sin Metal, and Rainwater are all on 19%. So you guys need to go in and vote. Right. So normal circumstances, there's about 600 people who will come and vote. So we got another 200 has not voted yet. Maybe we can ask them to go and vote and see the next one, which is tomorrow. It's gonna be GF, Sin Metal, or Rainwater. GF has been screaming like from the first vote ever. The GF said oh no GF, we want to do, but until right now still haven't seen the people of GF unite and coming together yet. Maybe probably tomorrow might be GF turn. So we see how the voting goes. All right, so today we're gonna go in and take a look at the worth. All right, so today we're gonna take a look at worth, which is the I thought it was the last of the Yang stamp, but no, we still got Rainwater. Right, so like usual, you want to get in touch with me, any question that you want to ask, right? So depending, right? So Telegram is a good way to get in touch with me, right? So I'm pretty active taking a look at the Telegram, because right now there are more and more spam coming into the Telegram channel. Right, so be careful of clicking on any of the links there. Right, so other than my YouTube links, the other links you might need to be a bit careful. Right, so then there is the newsletter. Right, so the newsletter is a publication, Word publication, by the way. Right, so we have published some of the places that I've went and recce and visit. Right, so there was one in temple in Setiawan, and another one is, I think it's in Kulai, Johor. Right, so the one with the bamboo dragon. Right, so yeah, the bamboo dragon is really majestic. So I don't know how much time that the fella spent to make the bamboo dragon. So of course, to me is, well, how do they preserve the dragon? Right, so every year need to come and spray. Yeah, Malaysia is a very humid place. So this sort of wooden thing, right, very difficult to last very long if you don't preserve it. Right, see Eve just join it. Right, so morning Eve. Right, so no, you want those type of content, please go and subscribe to the newsletter. Then of course there's the community channel, right, so which is a fan page, by the way. Right, so for those of you who need some community support, you have certain things you don't understand, that you're studying right now, you want to open a discussion, the Facebook channel would be a best place for you to go for. And then you can open up, this is what I've studied, anyone can contribute anything new to it, up to you. Right, so that is one is where you can source for community help with each other. Right, so now of course if you've got somebody who love Chinese metaphysics and they require a supporting community, you recommend that particular channel to them. Right, so next one is plotting your Bazi chart. If you are not plotted your Bazi chart yet, right, so this is the software that I'm working with. It's called Typing Astro. right? So you can use the same one, right? So just register for the free version first to use, right? So if you like the additional feature, right? So additional feature, then you can opt to pay for it. So right now they are doing a Christmas deal, right? So which is 30% off, right? So if you want to sign up with a 30% off for the next year, right? So up to you. Go and sign it up, right? So what you want to do here is to identify the natal chart, right? So which is the one that I highlighted, and look for your DayMaster, right? So there are 10 different DayMaster. So we have done half of it already, right? So we've done half of it already. So what are the different DayMaster? Let's take a look, right? So these are all the 10 different DayMaster. So those with the alien face are the one that has already been done. Okay, right? So today we're going to look at worth, right? So today we're going to look at worth. So for this one, the understanding is different DayMaster translate the 八字 chart in a different manner. So I always tell people that even if you have a snake inside your chart, it doesn't mean anything until you put up the DayMaster, right? Because the snake actually does not have any translation until the DayMaster is bring into the picture. Right, so which means two person with the same snake inside the chart. This one I always tell people is that the school, because school usually all the fella are all born in the same year, so you will have the same animal sign in the class, isn't it? Then why everybody different? Because their DayMaster is different, that's all. Right, their DayMaster is different, structure of the chart is different, so that's why the study of 八字 is ever interesting. Right, so as things changes, the way that you see the world change, the way that you decide also change. Hello Fanny, good morning, welcome to the early morning session. Right, so yes, today we're gonna take a look at worth. Right, so let's take a look at the general translation of the worth. So you got the direct officer, which is the Yi Wood, right? So by the way, the direct officer is the energy that controls me, that is of the opposite polarity, right? So Earth is controlled by wood, or aka is called counter by wood, right? So it's counter by wood, right? So the wood that counter it is of the opposite polarity. So Earth is of yang polarity, wood is of yin polarity, right? So this one, right, when the energy is countering me and it is of the opposite polarity, we give it a name called direct officer. Right, it's just a naming convention, by the way. So again, right, I repeat, for a lot of people, right, if you do not like the word direct officer, or you have this particular thing, why need to be called direct officer? It doesn't matter what you call it, right? So you got two choices. Either number one, you call it as the energy that counter me, which is of the opposite polarity, is fine, or you give it a name. That's it. That's all only. Right, so somebody before us, our forefather have decided to call this Jing Gun. Right, so Jing Gun is actually called proper officer, but never mind. Now after the what we call the translation to English, direct officer seems to be a better name, so we use direct officer. Hello Gahin, good morning. Right, so that's direct officer. Now, direct officer is basically telling you restriction. Direct officer is actually restriction, rules and regulation, order. Boundary, right? So boundary, I usually like to give the description for direct officer is those who maintain order inside the city. That is direct officer, right? So they are the person who maintain law and order inside the city boundary. Is called direct officer. So that's why direct officer are a lot of time very synonymous with law and order. Police, those are called direct officer. Police, city official, so those are called direct officer. So when you are subjected to direct officer for the year of 2025, which means that this particular year, it's going to be a bit, if you don't like the word, it's called restrictive to you. It's a restrictive in a good manner. So like how city wall is designed to protect the people inside the city from the danger that is outside of the city. That's the function of the city wall, by the way. So the what we call the function of the city wall is not to restrict or not to trap people inside the city wall. So the idea is that the world outside of the city wall is dangerous, right? So they are the one who ensure that the danger that's outside the city wall doesn't come into the city. Right, so if you like to go out of the city, it's up to you. You can go out of the city, right? So, but once you go out of the city, right, don't go and ask for protection. And that is the basic concept of it. So when you have direct officer here, is going to be a year whereby you need to observe what is the orderly manner of getting things done. right? So if you do things in an orderly manner, then things are gonna be good, right? So I can see that all of you start coming in already. Ka Heng, Cindy, Engkok, Jimmy, right? So all just came in. Good morning to everybody, right? So that's the direct officer. So a lot of time when they see direct officer is actually a very happy energy. So direct officers means that your status, your authority and power increases. So this particular year, Wu Earth would have the uncanny ability to control power and authority, right? So for those of you who are seeking higher position, Wu Earth is the one who has the higher position, right? So you want to say the moral high ground can you want to say moral high ground is basically pretty alright. So indirect resource, a lot of time I describe this as the ability to broaden your knowledge, is to add variety into the resources that you basically have. So you get to have access to resource that probably last time was not given preview to you, right? So which is interesting for those people who are developing new skill set, right? So you get a bit more new things, right? So normal circumstances for a person when indirect resource come in is that they get very curious, busybody. You can also say that they become more sensitive to the things that is happening or the people that's around them. They get a little bit more, you can say, compassionate, right? So they say a bit compassionate. So that tingling spicer sense, I always say that, oh no, hey, look like there is this. So combined together with direct officer is the need to protect others. It the need to protect people who may not be able to express themselves. So you become sensitive to the entire environment situation. So that oh, this particular fellow is that, right? So now this one is probably very important if you are dealing with a child, right? So a child cannot communicate. The child can't communicate, right? So at least not in the way that you expect, right? So but at the same time, you would try your best to protect the child from harm that is outside. Right, so your sensitivity increase and your ability to observe the particular child and the child action, right? So increases. So you have that particular automatic sense of understanding the child is happening. So the people of Wu Earth actually is more sensitive, you want to call this particular year, and their leadership skill set actually stands out, right? So they are a lot of people expect them to take the leadership role. I expect them. So now question is whether you are the type of person. So now this one I have to take a look at the structure that is basically inside your chart, right? So now this one, then you need to take a look, like for example, direct officer is an energy that directly counter companion star. So if your chart has very strong companion star inside your chart, so this particular year is going to feel very, very trapped. The feeling is going to be very crap. So depending on your natural Bazi chart construction. So if let's say your natural Bazi chart construction is very high on output, however, because output is controlling the direct officer, output counter the direct officer, you will feel very rebellious, right? The energy of control coming in, you try to make changes, right? So which means that you don't want to stick to what we call status quo. You want to break free. Right, so that would be that thing. So can you see that your Bazi chart structure is interacting with the coming energy? So depending on how your Bazi chart is constructed, right, and then only you can decide whether the energy is good energy or not good energy. Right, so there's no absolute good or bad energy, right? So for me, I'm just communicating with you that this is the energy signature. So if you are pursuing leadership, great year. Especially if you are trying to increase your tool set when it comes to leadership related matter, right? Because the indirect resource allow you to spread out, widen your knowledge base. Although you don't have depth in your knowledge base, but at least you know what is happening around you. You understand what is happening around you. So your ability to learn and adapt increases. Right, so and with the officer style, which give you discipline, so you can learn in a very disciplined manner, right? So you learn in a very so this is like having a Sifu, right? So Sifu master to teach you how to fight, right? To teach you how to fight, like for example, if you go for martial art, right? So there is this training, whereby is what we call simulated fighting with people, right? So simulated fighting. So this is like the master slowly simulate fight with you, teach you if people throw you right punch, you got this few thing that you can do. If people throw you right kick, this few thing you can do. So you get to practice, right? So somebody basically teaching you, this is how you deal with that, right? So the what we call the repeated movement that you need to go and learn, right? So it's all those right? So overall, if you take a look at the energy signature, direct officer, indirect resource, friend, eating god, these are all called very friendly energy. They are not aggressive energy, right? So they are not an energy that is basically have aggression. So Earth this particular year, if you need somebody to protect you, if you want to find somebody who has a higher level of understanding, okay, the better patience, probably you want to find some Earth friends around, right? So they may be able to contain your things, right? So their containment ability is a bit more higher, right? So if you take a look at strategy, right? So we give you some strategy here. The discipline, direct officer allow you to focus, allow you the ability to basically focus. So this one a lot of time is like the root of the tree or root of the grass grabbing onto the earth, right? Grabbing onto the earth, grabbing onto the mountain. It allows the mountain to stay together. It allows the earth to stay together, right? So that is where all is, right? So if not, if the mountain is completely naked, without any tree, without any root holding onto it, so you can see that the mountain usually would have a what we call slide situation, right? So the mountain basically will deconstruct itself, right? So this is the situation for you right now, is that you have this particular ability to focus yourself. So of course, the question is always where are you focusing yourself to, right? So that's why a lot of time when we are studying 八字 chart, it's not just the 八字 chart. The 八字 chart is just one of the many components that runs in decision making, right? So you yourself need to know where you want to do first. Yeah, you got a discipline there. If you are very disciplined with something that is useless, so you would just achieve uselessness. Like for example, very disciplined watching Netflix. What's the point? Right? Very disciplined, watching Netflix. What's the point? Very disciplined trying to finish a drama that is on TV. It's still disciplined, right? Finishing a drama in the TV is still very, very disciplined. It's like trying to watch all the 10 season of the Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones 10 season or 8. 8, if I'm not wrong, it's just 8 season, right? Because I didn't watch it. Okay? Right? So that is also very, very disciplined. Right? But that sort of discipline, is no use. So you have to choose what discipline that you want, right? So it's basically the entire idea of if you are trying to build yourself up, what are the components that is required for you to build yourself up? Right? So that's what you need to do. So you have to have a particular target, right? So like for me, my next year's one of my next year target is actually to produce video content, right? So you produce video content, right? So so I'm currently looking at video platform, payment gateway, so all those things that I'm currently trying to research and study, looking at people who have done it, ask some things, right? So these are things that I'm gonna be learning and doing for next year. What about you, right? So do you know, right? So if you don't know, then you better find some direction. Right, so second, right, so indirect resource, indirect resource again telling you is basically a curiosity. Curiosity is fine. Too much curiosity become distraction, and because there's a friend star there, right? So you may be misdirected by the people around you, right? So the problem with friend star is that the entire idea of wanting to be accepted by people. Friend star always have that particular feeling of I need to be accepted. I need to be part of the gang. That's what the friend star do, right? So when you want to be part of the gang and the gang is not going the correct direction, right? So then it become problematic, right? So this one you want to take a look at it, so you oh, sorry guys, right? So you need to take a look at some government and with their austerity package, right? So now government is supposed to control the movement of the people in the nation, right? So then certain people voted for a certain government because they promise austerity. Austerity means that give free money to them, right? So what happened is that the government give free money to the people are not doing anything that basically is helping the economy to grow, and then the entire economy collapse. Right, so there's a few government that economy collapse because of that, right? So you need to be careful of how you deal with all this distraction that is around you, right? So discovery is fine, you're curious, it's basically okay, but if you're not directing your curiosity in the correct organized manner, it usually ends up as wasting your time in a very what we call distracting manner. So you end up doing a lot of things. You end up like an encyclopedia, right? So encyclopedia have everything inside, but the encyclopedia itself is not really that useful. Same thing with dictionary. Dictionary also have everything inside, but dictionary itself is not very useful until it is targeted to solve a certain problem. So it's up to you how you build yourself, especially in the term of leadership. Right, so of course, the bigger term for this particular time for you is actually leadership with the direct officer there. Right, so how do you want to discipline? How do you want to structure yourself? That is the big question that you need to ask yourself right now. What are the direction that I'm going? What are the rules and regulation I'm going to be imposing to myself? What are the things that I will do? What are the things that I will let go? Right, so all these things you have to make a bit of a decision so that the wall that you're going to walk in between is built early, so that you don't veer off too far away from the objective that you want to do, right? So people's going to come to you because of the direct officer is on top. They're going to come to you, right? So they're going to come to you, they're going to be hoping, they're going to be expecting that you are able to give them some guidance. So if you cannot even guide yourself, how are you going to guide other people? Right. Sometimes the idea of being a leader is to be able to bring people to area whereby they would themselves not dare to go. Right. The only reason why they dare to go to that particular area is because you're around, right? So they feel the confidence of you being able to take responsibility. So which means when shit happen, they can point their finger at you and you will take the blame for them. Yes, unfortunate. That's the job of the leader. Okay, right. So the job of the leader is to shield the people from harm until they can take care of themselves. So of course, knowing this, what you need to do is that you need to know whether that particular person is worth shielding or not. Right. So now this one, just now I give you an example of a child. Right. So a child, you will generally shield the child from harm, but will you shield your neighbor child from harm? Ask yourself. Right, so ask yourself, right? So what will you do if your neighbor child fail exam? If your child fail exam, I'm pretty much sure you will do whatever necessary to give them tuition, additional tutorial help, buy more workbook. But if it's your neighbor child that failed the exam, right? Would you pay for his tuition? Buy workbook for him? The answer is no. Okay, right? So that's how human works. So same thing with you. So when you talk about leadership, right, who are the people you're trying to lead? There are people, it's not up to you to lead, right? So there are people up there. So there are also knowledge whereby it's not for you to, learn. There are people is not up for you to concern, right? So you need to be very clear. So that's why you need to set your rules, regulation, your boundary for yourself. You need to find the direction that you're trying to go, right? So that's basically what Earth is bound to do this particular. So you can superimpose the energy into your Bazi chart and try to understand how does it what we call impact you. And when you have an objective, right, when you have a clear objective things that you want to do, then you know how to strategize yourself, right? That's the important part, right? So form a good strategy for yourself so that you know that hey, this is what I'm expecting, and these are things that I need to equip myself with. And when things happen, these are how I will react to the things that's happening. Hello, Alvin. Yes, today is Boxing Day, right? So now that's it. That's for the Wu Earth for today, right? So really easy. right? So if you have worth, you know, so again, you know, if you want somebody to be compassionate and protective of you, go and find a worth friend. You know, for 2025, you know, go and mark down the worth. So that's why it's very important sometimes, right, that you collect the party chart of the people around you, right? So when you got time, and the best and easy way for you to collect their party chart is to tell them that, hey, you know, I know how to read some party leh, right? So do you want your party to be read? Then, you know, they'll be very happy to volunteer their party chart for you to read. Then, you know, you have a record of their party chart. Right, then, you know, when every year, you know, you want to do something, then you can take a look at the party chart and say, this year, you know, I want to work with this particular person because my objective of the year, you know, has to do with the energy that this fella has. You know, I can utilize this particular person energy. Right, do that. Okay, that's it, guys. See you all. Bye.